Hello dear viewers, a very warm welcome to our channel. It's very good to have you here. In this video, we are going to have a look at what every good mechanic does at 100,000 miles, but never tells you. This is the kind of insider knowledge that can save a car owner thousands of dollars and extend the life of their vehicle for years. Let's have a look at what happens in the back of the shop when a car rolls in with 100,000 miles on the odometer, and let's explain it in a way your mechanic probably wouldn't. The unspoken 100,000 miles playbook. A good mechanic doesn't just see a service interval. They see a mileage-based expiration date for a whole list of parts. Their goal is to proactively address these failures before they leave you stranded. Let's begin from fluid. They are not just changing fluids. They are hunting for clues when they drain your transmission fluid, when they drain your engine oil, and when they drain your coolant. They are actually performing a forensic analysis. Let's look at transmission fluid, for example. They are looking at the color and the smell. Burned dark fluid doesn't just mean it's old. It tells them that the clutch packs are wearing out and a rebuild might be in your future. They will often recommend a filter change and fluid flush now to prevent a 4,000 transmission replacement later. What about when they check coolant? Coolant becomes acidic over time. Now, they know that old coolant is silently eating away your aluminum radiator, intake manifolds, and water pump seals. A coolant flush isn't just maintenance, it is a corrosion prevention service. When they replace your engine oil, they look for glitter, a fine metallic glitter in the oil. This is usually a sign of normal wear, and it is expected, but chunky metal flakes, those are death sentences for an engine, and they will be the first to break the news. So, when they replace these fluids, they are indirectly performing forensic analysis on your engine. Number 2, they are replacing your timing belt, knowing it is a ticking time bomb. This is the single biggest secret. For many cars, the timing belt is designed to last around 100,000 miles. The mechanic knows that if it naps, your engine will instantly transform from a complex machine into a very expensive paperweight. What they don't always say, I'm saving you from an engine replacement that costs more than the car's value. They will almost always recommend replacing the water pump, tensioner, and idler pulley at the same time because the labor to get to them is already paid for. This is the most ethical upsell in the vehicle maintenance business. Number 3, when you go in at 100,000 miles, they are shaking down your entire suspension. They know every rubber component under your car is now as hard and as brittle as glass. They will aggressively shake your tires, checking for wheel bearing play, and visually inspect every bushing, ball joint, and tie rod end. A worn ball joint can fail completely, causing you to lose control of your vehicle. They are not just recommending new parts to make money, they are preventing a potential deadly failure. So that is why they try to shake the suspension to see which parts need replacement. They are also cleaning the throttle bodies and fuel injectors. This is the secret tune-up. Most modern cars don't have tune-ups in the traditional sense. The 100,000 mile service is new tune-up. They know carbon buildup on fuel injectors and throttle bodies cause rough idle, poor fuel economy, and loss of power. A professional fuel induction service can restore horsepower and mile per gallon you didn't even know you had lost. They rarely call it a tune-up anymore, but that is exactly what it is. And number 5, they are looking for the inevitable leak. By 100,000 miles, seals and gaskets have endured countless heat cycles and are starting to fail. The unusual suspect, they are specifically checking for leaks from the valve cover gasket, oil pan gasket, transmission input shaft seal, and axle seals. A small sip today is a drip on your driveway tomorrow and a major oil loss next month. That is why they are highly proactive to check the inevitable leaks. Number 6 is they are testing the heart of the ignition system. Spark plugs and coils are on borrowed time. They know a misfiring cylinder doesn't just run poorly, it dumps raw fuel into the exhaust, which can destroy your catalytic converter, a repair of which can cost you over $2,000. Replacing a spark plug and coils at 100,000 miles is cheap insurance to protect the expensive catalytic converter. So, these are some of the checks that a good mechanic perform at 100,000 miles. Let's see what they check. They check the timing belt, water pump. This will help prevent total engine destruction. This is the number 1 priority. They drain and refill all fluids to look for internal wear particles and prevent systemic failure. Spark plugs and ignition coils will be checked and replaced to prevent misfires that can kill the catalytic converter. Fluid induction service has to be there to restore lost power and fuel economy, which is silently taken by carbon. And they do check the suspension system, ball joints, rubbers, bushings, all those to find and replace any worn parts that are safety hazards. And what about belts and tensioner? They replace belts and tensioner to prevent it from snapping and leaving you no power steering or no alternator. PCV valve, it is a $50 part that, if clogged, can blow out seals and cause oil leaks. Brake fluid flash, brake fluids absorb water, which leads to internal corrosion and a spongy pedal. So, a good mechanic isn't trying to upsell you on unnecessary services at 100,000 miles. They are following a well-established script of predictive maintenance. They are replacing parts that are statistically likely to fail soon based on their experience with hundreds of cars. The difference between a car that dies at 120,000 miles and one that runs reliably to 200,000 miles is almost always the thoroughness of the 100,000 mile service. The best thing you can do, find good mechanic that you can trust, and when they make these recommendations, understand they are likely speaking from a place of wanting your car to last, not just trying to ring up a bigger bill. Well, dear viewers, that is all we have for you regarding what every mechanic does at 100,000 miles but never speaks about. If you find this video helpful and if you like what has been presented, please do smash the like button. If you are new to this channel, do subscribe, turn on notifications so that you will be the first to get notified whenever we come up with another video. Until then, stay safe.